Hey everyone, Ashley May, Mike Beer here with the Daily Racing Form, taking a look at a stakes race this Saturday out at Horseshoe Indianapolis. They have a terrific 13 race program, part of the long holiday weekend. And with that in mind, Mike, I have to remind everyone watching 15% off for our 4th of July sale. Almost everything in the DRF shop, you can use this discount on. The coupon code is July 15 off. This includes past performances, handicapping products, and more. So check out the website to use that promo. But when we think about 4th of July weekend, the last several years, for sure, we've thought about the Indiana Oaks, the Indiana Derby as well. And we're going to focus in on the Indiana Oaks on this 13 race program. It goes as race number 11. Grade 3 event sponsored by the Daily Racing Form. 6 have entered in here, so it's not a huge field, Mike, but I think it's a little interesting. And I don't know if I necessarily agree with the morning line when you dig into the past performances.
It'll be interesting to see how they decide to separate, if they decide to separate these two favorites, I guess, the 2 Clico, the 5 Heavenly Sunset. They just ran against each other. Actually, they put on a pretty good show, going a pretty fast pace, but it was Clico who was a lot better than Heavenly Sunset when all was said and done. She's the morning line favorite. I wonder how close it'll be.
We'll take a look at the time form US pace projection for this compact field. And it looks like the 5 Heavenly Sunset, she wants the lead. She can get it. I mean, that's what she's done in her 3 races to date. I don't see that changing, but I personally agree with this. I mean, the Forest top is stretching out a distance, has gone 1 mile in the past, but most recently was forward in quick sprints, and maybe she'll be in front. I mean, these two could be a little bit closer than this chiclet sort of representation shows.
Yeah, we'll see. I'd be surprised if they changed Heavenly Sunset's running style. We'll see. Maybe they will, but I would be surprised if they did. And she's just really fast. I think she's making the lead in here. And we'll see if Clico, last time Clico sort of made an early move to go up and challenge her. We'll see if they ride her that way. Because I guess there's a scenario here where these 2 horses do hook up again. Maybe they set it up for somebody else.
And the LP late pace flag is attached to the 3 Deloraine, who's certainly, been consistent throughout her career, regardless of surface distance, you name it. Maybe one to use in the bottom of the exotics. We'll talk about her in a minute. Let's dive right into it here with the number 1 Sturgeon Moon on the inside, now in the barn of Will Walden. And this is a horse I don't think will be 15-1. That's sort of what I was getting at, Mike, based on the fact that, sure, her buyers are lower, but I thought her 4th place finish in the Goldenrod was okay. And look at all the fillies in front of her. I mean, I think that has to kind of bode well for her in this spot. This is class relief.
They're all 2-year-old figures too. So you're going to want to project some improvement for this filly. We'll see if it's the right spot for her off the layoff. Actually, obviously she's getting off to a little bit of a late start here. So it feels like she missed a little time earlier, but I liked her as a 2-year-old. I thought she ran some really good races. Again, we already sort of discussed the pace here. Maybe the 2 favorites go at it, sets it up for her because she will be running at the end of this race.
She has a ton of bullet drills in preparation for her 3-year-old debut. The 2 Clico here, as you mentioned, for Brendan Walsh, was 6th on the debut, but in those following starts, took a step forward with each and every single one. And the only time going kind of a route distance, a mile and a 16th, I thought it was a really good performance and was able to clear Heavenly Sunset in the end.
Yeah, really impressive, I thought, breaking her maiden in her 2nd career start. And she ran so much better last time, too. First time around 2 turns, which I guess could have been a little disadvantage for her because Heavenly Sunset had already been a route of ground. And she moved into a pretty fast pace there to go after Heavenly Sunset on the lead. They dueled through the stretch, and Clico was just better at the end of the day there. Maybe it'll be different this time, Ashley. I'm not sure why I'm supposed to think that, though. This really feels like she's got a lot of potential, and this is a nice sort of first step into stakes company for her.
The 3 Deloraine I mentioned, she shows up every single time. She's typically just not getting the big check. And you look at her last 3 spots, Mike, obviously the waters have been deep. Nitrogen, one of those races on the turf, the Florida Oaks. And then, even 3 starts back, Larara and her Laugh, horses that were highly regarded. We know what Larara has been able to do since those races. She's the real deal. So for her, I think this is a little bit of class relief, but obviously she's not one that's typically winning. So I think for me, she's tough to endorse on the top spot and even the top 2.
I think I had the same issues with her that you did. I mean, she's been facing good horses. She's not, getting embarrassed by them. She's just, sort of not good enough to go with them. Ultimately, she does handle all 3 surfaces. So I get that maybe it's not an easy decision, but pick a surface, man. What do you got? She a dirt horse? She a turf horse? Well, I guess we'll find out. She's not impossible in here, but I couldn't talk myself into her.
The 4 top we mentioned earlier is going to stretch out in distance after sprinting. And it's been interesting to see her transformation. She started at Turfway Park. She was trying to close in some of those races. And then they put her more forward at the mile distance and now cutting back, sprinting on the dirt at Horseshoe Indy. Her numbers have been just a world of difference, right? I mean, we're talking about 70s every time to a horse that was in high 30s and 50s in her races. Now the question is, though, how does she stack against this field? And now stretching back out, I thought it was a lot to ask.
Yeah, I mean, listen, clearly a better dirt horse. And so, obviously she didn't stretch out effectively the one time they tried it, but that was synthetic. And so maybe it'll be better for her when they stretch her out now on dirt. I still think this is probably too tough for her. And the 5-1 morning line price is ridiculous. If she's that price, you cannot bet her.
The 5 Heavenly Sunset. This is one of the other short prices on the morning line, 9-5, making her the second choice. A daughter of Constitution who her maiden score at Keeneland was quite good. And then more recently, she was second best behind the morning line favorite in the Indiana Oaks. I guess my concern is she has to face her again, Mike. And did the track help her on April 6th? I have a feeling it did.
Yeah, I wonder, actually. You're right. So the first 2 starts were on a sloppy track. She was really good, I thought, when she broke her maiden. First time they stretched her out, but she did get loose on the lead that day. And the most recent start, she didn't get loose on the lead. Not only didn't she get loose, though, Ashley, I mean, they really made her run to clear the lead around the first turn there. So she had to work really hard just to get to the lead. And then as soon as she got there, Clico came right after her and did not let her get a breather. I actually gave her extra credit for that performance. I thought she ran really well in there, even though she was only second best. I guess the issue is she's got Clico to contend with again.
And then rounding out the field is the 6 Golden Eye Magic, who will take a look at her most recent performance when she scored a huge upset at 31-1 in the Lady Jacqueline, one of the undercard stakes on Ohio Derby Day. And I thought this was a good performance. Obviously, this horse took no love for a couple of reasons, stretching out and just had Ohio races to go back to. But to me, it was a huge step in the right direction. Finally got into the 80s, got an 80 exactly, and finds the wire at the right time to win by a nose. I don't think she's impossible in this race for the exotics. I think it's tough to see her maybe competing with the 2 or 3 big fillies in here. But to me, she liked the stretch out last time.
I agree. She ran down a 1-5 favorite in that race too. That horse had earned a buyer in the low 90s in one of her prior starts. So it's not like she just ran down some terrible horse. She ran down a pretty good horse in there. I like that performance. We'll see if she can repeat it here. She's another horse you can't take the morning line price on her, but I thought you'd probably do a little bit better than that.
All right, we will move to top pick time here in a minute. Don't forget, good deal in the DRF store, 15% off. You can get that discount applied here to this card. And I just thought the card was tremendous, Mike. It's a lot of things going on, a lot of stakes races, dirt, turf, you name it. And we will move to our top picks. And I don't know in this field personally if I can find the value on top. I think Clico is the horse to beat. I think it's the other races, if you're looking at pick 4s and pick 5s, that you can find the prices. But to date, to me, she's the one to beat.
Yeah, that's how I ultimately sorted them out too. I mean, I did have a pretty tough time separating the 2 favorites in here, the 2 and the 5. I ultimately sided with the 2. Part of that is, and we didn't mention it during the analysis, Ashley, but Heavenly Sunset is also entered in the Iowa Oaks on Saturday. And boy, man, just perusing that field really quickly, it looks like if she runs there, she could be the favorite. I don't know if they're going to run. I don't know where they're going to run. I hope they run her here though, because I think this is a good matchup between the 2 and the 5.
2-5-1-3 for Mike, 2-1-5-6 for me. We see this race very similarly. It's the Indiana Oaks. It's race 11 on the program. We'll both look for Clico to find the winner circle. Good luck.